The story of Prophet Musa, or Moses and Pharaoh, is one of the most important stories in the Quran. It teaches us about faith, courage, and the power of God. This story is a reminder that Allah always helps those who believe in Him, even when things seem impossible. Pharaoh was a powerful king in ancient Egypt. He ruled with an iron fist and believed he was a god. Pharaoh enslaved the children of Israel, forcing them to build his cities and monuments. He treated them cruelly and denied them their basic human rights. The children of Israel suffered terribly under Pharaoh's rule. They cried out to Allah for help and deliverance from their oppression. Allah heard their prayers and decided to send them a prophet. Pharaoh was a tyrant who believed he was above everyone else. He thought he was a god and demanded to be worshipped as one. Pharaoh surrounded himself with luxury and wealth. He cared nothing for the suffering of his people. Anyone who dared to question Pharaoh's authority was met with swift and brutal punishment. He was a dictator who ruled through fear and intimidation. The people of Egypt lived in fear of his wrath. Pharaoh was especially cruel to the children of Israel. He saw them as a threat to his power. He enacted laws to reduce their numbers and break their spirit. The children of Israel were forced to live as slaves in Egypt. They had to endure backbreaking labor and constant humiliation. They were denied their freedom and dignity. Allah chose Musa or Moses to be his prophet. He was born into the children of Israel during a time of great hardship. Allah had a special plan for Musa, even as a baby. Musa grew up in Pharaoh's palace, unaware of his true heritage. However, Allah had chosen him to free the Israelites. One day, Allah spoke to Musa directly. He gave him a mission to confront Pharaoh and demand the Israelites' freedom. Musa was afraid to face Pharaoh, but Allah promised to be with him every step of the way. Allah told Musa that he would give him signs and miracles. These would prove to Pharaoh that Musa was a true prophet. Musa went to Pharaoh with courage and determination. He delivered Allah's message, "Let my people go." However, Pharaoh was arrogant and refused to listen. To convince Pharaoh, Musa showed him many miracles. These miracles proved that Allah was the one true God. Musa's staff transformed into a snake, swallowing the magic of Pharaoh's priests. This showed that Allah's power was greater. Then Allah brought a severe famine upon Egypt. The Nile River, their source of life, refused to give water. The crops died and the people suffered. Still, Pharaoh's heart remained hardened. He refused to acknowledge Allah's power. Next, Allah sent a plague of locusts that darkened the sky. They devoured every single plant and leaf. The people begged Pharaoh to listen to Musa, but Pharaoh remained stubborn. He would not free the Israelites. With each miracle, Pharaoh became more stubborn. He refused to believe. Even when faced with the undeniable power of Allah, he clung to his pride and his claim to be a god himself. Despite witnessing incredible miracles, Pharaoh remained defiant. He refused to free the Israelites. Pharaoh's heart was hardened with pride. He believed that he was more powerful than Allah. Pharaoh accused Musa of being a liar and a sorcerer. He refused to acknowledge the true power behind the miracles. Pharaoh's advisors were afraid. However, Pharaoh's arrogance blinded him to the truth. As a result of Pharaoh's refusal, Allah sent a series of calamities upon Egypt. These were punishments for Pharaoh's cruelty and disbelief. Each plague was worse than the last, but Pharaoh's heart remained hardened. The plagues were a demonstration of Allah's power. They showed that Allah controls everything. However, Pharaoh remained unmoved. He continued to deny the truth and oppress the children of Israel. Finally, Allah told Musa to lead the Israelites out of Egypt. In the middle of the night, they left their homes and started their journey to freedom. Pharaoh, realizing he was losing his slaves, chased after them with his army. The Israelites reached the Red Sea with Pharaoh's army closing in. They were trapped. But Allah, in His infinite mercy, parted the sea for them. The Israelites walked across the seabed on dry land. Pharaoh and his army, blinded by rage and arrogance, followed the Israelites into the sea. When the last of the Israelites was safe, Allah closed the sea. Pharaoh and his entire army drowned. This event, known as the Exodus, was a turning point in the story. It showed that Allah is always with those who believe. It also proved that tyrants, no matter how powerful, will always be defeated by truth. The story of Prophet Musa and Pharaoh teaches us important lessons about faith, justice, and the power of Allah. It reminds us that Allah hears the prayers of the oppressed. Pharaoh's fate is a warning about the dangers of arrogance and disbelief. It shows that those who reject Allah's message will face His justice. The story also highlights the importance of trust in Allah, even in the face of adversity. Just as Musa trusted Allah, we too should place our faith in Him, knowing that He will always guide and protect us. Finally, the story of Musa and Pharaoh teaches us that truth always triumphs over falsehood. No matter how powerful evil may seem, Allah's justice will always prevail.